Yo, yo, yo. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Freedom Marcher, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is all up and through the building. And guess what he gonna do? He gonna toss this morning paper upside your head and put a dent in that motherfucker. How y'all doing this fine Friday morning? Fine Friday afternoon for some of you. Yeah, we gonna get into this, pimpin'. Yes, sir. Come one, come all you triggered, fake ass MAGA motherfuckers. I want to see you up and through here. Come on, come on, come on, MAGA maggots. Where you at? Where y'all hypocrites at? Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to tell y'all that the mental gymnastics, the hoops y'all try to jump through. And the hoop is on fire. Salute to Orange Lily for you in the building. Salute to Great Blackness. Salute to my brother. I don't know. Well, it's my first time seeing you. They arrested Don Lemon. For what? Kitty porn? Anyway, I thought I heard about something like that. I wasn't sure why. I don't care about Don Lemon, so I didn't. He's a rainbow rider. I don't really pay attention to what goes on with rainbow riders unless they're diddling children. Then I have a problem. If you're a rainbow rider who diddles children, I got a problem with that. But if you riding rainbows, and I don't pay attention to your life. You understand what I'm talking about? But yeah, where are the trigger people? I want to ask y'all. I want to ask you people. Those of you who feel like Alex Pretti was justified, the murder was justified. Those of you who feel like that. What the fuck is going on with this fucking traffic? Did y'all turn y'all guns in yet? That's my question. Did you turn your guns in yet? Did y'all turn your guns in? Did you voluntarily sell your firearms to the police station? Those of you who think that Alex Pretti was rightfully killed because he had Great Blackness says, I have no respect for Don Lemon after he disrespected black folks on CNN years ago. Yeah, I remember that. What did he get arrested for? Nice to see a voice of reason nowadays in this time of grifting and willful ignorance. Yeah, I try to be. So my question, where are the MAGA Donald Trump nut gobblers? Where y'all at? Because I know y'all got some heat for me. Where the heat at? Come on. Yeah. Because you guys like to use Kyle Rittenhouse. You think that's analogous to this situation. But here's the thing, though. You guys felt like, well, Kyle Rittenhouse had the right to walk around with a rifle at a protest. Whether or not you believe, well, he was at the protest to prevent rioters from damaging property, yeah, that is the scenario that they tell you. But he still showed up to protest with a firearm. A brandished firearm, open carried a firearm that he took across state lines, which is illegal. Right? But y'all don't give a shit about none of that. What y'all care about is if Donald Trump sent ICE out on the streets to harass and be belligerent and be little dickheads, then, you have to justify the ICE shooting. Now, if it was Joe Biden who did that, of course you would be calling ICE out, just like you called out the cop that killed that killed Ashley Babbitt. Yeah, y'all are a fucking bunch of hypocrites. Yeah, real talk. Y'all are a bunch of hypocrites. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse, guess what? Because people like to say, oh, y'all was mad at Kyle Rittenhouse. Y'all was mad at Kyle Rittenhouse And now y'all trying to blah, blah, blah with the blah, blah, blah with the rights. Oh, you was mad at Kyle Rittenhouse, but now you think Alex Pretti had the right. Well, guess what? Who defended Kyle Rittenhouse? I did. Yeah. Go back. I did live stream. Well, yeah, I did live streams talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse did have the right to keep and bear arms, not because the law said or because of the Constitution, but because he has a natural born right as a human being. Man-made laws be damned. That's what I said. I defended Kyle Rittenhouse. So you can't use that against me. You can't use that logic. Oh, well, if you thought Kyle Rittenhouse was a problem, then you should have thought Alex Pretti was a problem. Well, here's the difference. Alex Pretti had a concealed carry license. He had a license to carry. Therefore, he was well within his right. Even outside of that, he's well within his right as a human being, right? So y'all can throw that Kyle Rittenhouse bullshit out the fucking window. Because Kyle Rittenhouse, well, he was not in the right according to the state laws. You understand what I'm talking about? According to state laws, he did not have the right to have that rifle in the first place. Now, I believe, damn that law, damn man-made laws. I feel like, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse was in the right. He was getting chased. I saw the video. People were coming at him. Whatever the case may be, he was a good shot. It is what it is. Right? Just looking at it for what it is, as a logical human being with objectivity. Someone said stop yapping. Orange Lily, get that clown ass motherfucker out of here. Don't tell me what to do. Don't ever tell me what to do, because you wouldn't tell me what to do in my fucking face. I'll tell you that much. Get that clown out of here, please. Telling me to stop yapping. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, don't tell me what to do. You got me fucked up, homies. Don't come in here trying to tell me what to do. If you don't want to hear what I have to say, get your ass off my motherfucking channel. Or shut the fuck up. Anyway, salute to JK. I appreciate you. Now, I don't give a fuck. Now, this is not going to be an ad-friendly live stream. And that's how serious you know I am about it. So this probably will be demonetized. I don't care. I don't care what Alex Pretti did 11 days before he was murdered. End of discussion. What else is there to talk about? I don't care if he kicked lights out, spit on a window. I don't give a shit. Now, if he damaged property in the presence of law enforcement at that time, 11 days before, if he is putting his hands on, if he's doing that to ICE vehicles, they should have arrested him at that time. What did they do? They pushed him. You know why? Because they don't know how to fucking arrest nobody. They don't have arrest powers. They're not trained for that. Someone said FAFO is what happened. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. FAFO applies to everybody. So don't think that it can't happen to you because you think you have some privilege, because in your mind you think you're part of the club. You think, well, I'm a FAFO guy. You think that won't happen to you? You think you don't fuck around? Everybody fucks around, don't they? Tell me one person who never fucked around in their life. And I'll point you to the person that is no better than anybody else. Point to me a person that has never fucked around, whether they found out or not. Some people fuck around, they never find out. Some people fuck around, they live 80, 90 years, and they die in their sleep. And they never find out. See, That doesn't work either, because sometimes some people fuck around and other people find out. You understand? Does that make sense to you? Some people fuck around and others find out from what that person fucked around and did. You guys don't even know what you're talking about. Right? Because at some point you fucked around and somebody else found out. And you think that you can skate through life and that FAFO only applies to people you don't share ideologies with. And that makes you a dumbass. Because what they call that is optimism bias. You think something will happen to you because you agree with what happened to Alex Pretti. Dumbasses. I don't give a fuck what Alex Pretti did 11 days before he was murdered. Because on the day he was murdered, he was not doing those things. Not immediately leading up to death. What he did 11 days before, he was not doing the moments before he was killed. No, what that was retaliation from ICE. They said, you know what? I like this motherfucker. We're going to kill him the next time we see him. The next time he does anything that would give us an inkling, we're going to kill us. That's what I think happened. See, 11 days before, they pushed him. Did they place him under arrest? No, they did not. They should have, because he was damaging other people's property. See, that's a crime. He was spitting on people. That's assault. He should have been arrested on the spot. So I don't want to hear a motherfucking thing about what he did 11 days before. He should have been placed under arrest, point blank and period. Here comes the FAFO clowns. There was no illegal carry. What are you, stupid? Somebody get that dickhead that told me to stop being a bum. Get him out of here. If I will be a bum if I choose to. Don't tell me what to do. If you didn't hear, don't come here and tell me what to do. Don't tell me to stop being a bum. Don't tell me to shut the fuck up. Don't tell me to stop yapping. If you do that, you're going to get out of here. And you'll never be able to comment in my chat again. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. See, this is the problem with you NPCs, right? That's what they call it. That's what you guys call the left, right? NPCs. You guys are NPCs. Salute to my brother Flying Guillotine in the building. Hey, Flying Guillotine. If you see anybody in here telling me what to do, you can block them. Yeah, no one's telling me what to do today. Whether it be them telling me to be quiet or stop being a bum, I will be a bum if I want to. If I want to be a bum, I will do so. No one will tell me not to be a bum. If I want to go be a beach bum, if I want to lay up on the beach for the rest of my life and panhandle, I will do that. I can be a bum if I want to. Anyway, yeah, block that person. Block the person that tells me what to do. Block the person that says, "Hey, I'm out of here." No, those people need to go. Someone says that theory is fucking stupid. What theory are you talking about? Some of y'all don't even know what theories are. Y'all just say shit. Y'all just be saying shit. Anyway, I don't care what he did 10, 11 days before. I don't care, because there's some bullshit going around about him being fired for misconduct. I don't give a fuck about none of that. See, what they did was they said, this guy, he kicked our windshield out or kicked our tailgate, whatever the fuck. And yeah, we're going to kill him. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. They said, yeah, we're gonna, and we know we can get away with it because 11 days ago, he kicked a car and spit on a window. So therefore, we can kill him and get away with it because we got a bunch of idiots out in the world that will defend it. Someone says homosexuality. You don't have to tell us about your homosexuality. You don't have to, listen, I'm not the person to talk to about that. I don't give a fuck about your sexuality. I'm not going to tell you that you're, you were born that way and rainbow riding is a good thing. No, it's disgusting, in my opinion. I don't understand how a man can be attracted to a man. Men are disgusting. When I look at them, I don't feel anything fuzzy. When I look at a woman, I feel all kind of hard. Yeah, women, beautiful women make me hard. Yeah, I get a rise out of women. That's what I'm on. So coming over here telling me about your homosexuality will not get you any sympathy. I don't give a shit about your homosexuality. If you want to go ride a rainbow, go ride a rainbow. And I hate that y'all took rainbows. I used to love rainbows as a kid. It would rain, the sun would come out, you see a rainbow. That's all it was. Y'all didn't co-opted rainbows now. Now I can't even enjoy rainbow. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking rainbows from us. Right? Just like MAGA and these so-called conservatives took woke. Thank you for taking shit and just perverting it and just flipping it on his head and making it not enjoyable anymore. That's what you people do. You can't just go enjoy your bullshit. You want to take it up the ass? What does a rainbow have to do with anal prolapse? What does it have to do with? What does it have to do with sucking another man's dick? What does it have to do with that? Oh yeah, y'all getting this heat today. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about your homosexuality. So if you come in here, you're a man and you find me attractive, but you might be a conservative and a MAGA person, you might get angry and call me a homosexual because you think I'm cute. That has nothing to do with me. That's your own problem. Okay? Just because I'm handsome and manly does not mean, and my eyes. Listen, I was born a good-looking man. This is what it is. I was blessed with genetics. 6 foot and over. More than 6 inches. Handsome, nice beard. I can't help that shit. The ladies love me. What can I do? It is what it is. Labias get puffy when I'm around. You understand? Juices get the flowing. I don't give a shit about another man's phallus. Let's just say that. Okay, so if you come in here with the homosexual shit, just know we know you're projecting and you need to go talk to a doctor. I appreciate you, Orange Lily, for you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Queen Orange Lily for you. They mad that you think I'm fine, and I take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. I know y'all mad. Half y'all left when I told you I wasn't gay. I know how this shit works. Half y'all left because I told you I don't ride rainbows. I know. It's okay. I'm glad you guys are going. Miss me with that bullshit. So, Alex Pretti, you think I give a shit? So, see, some of you out there diddle children. Yeah, y'all diddle children. Y'all beat your wives. Hell, y'all might have committed serial killings. Right? Those of y'all out there right now in this live stream probably have done worse things than Alex Pretti did, but you're going to sit up here and act like Alex Pretti. Oh, he kicked the car 11 days before. Oh, my God. Oh, this gives us an insight into him. Oh, yeah, he's such an aggressive man. Oh, how aggressive. Lincoln Riley, yeah. She shouldn't have died. You know why? Because Joe Biden, well, the powers that be that were operating during, and they still operate today, they operate during every administration. See, they wanted it to happen. They wanted all these people to come into the country so that they can get to a place where we're at right now. You guys don't see it. Anyway, Lincoln Riley is one person. How many does Trump have in his list? A whole lot. A whole lot. ICE is kicking ass for Lake and Riley? How? Did Alex Pretti kill Lake and Riley? Help me understand this. See, here goes Diesel. He said, step out, bro. Goodness gracious. Hold on, killer. See, what I'm looking at right now in front of me, and I'd flip the camera, but I can't do that. I'm not going to do that to her. I just saw a beautiful chocolate black woman with a nice big booty step out of the front seat and go to the back seat to get something. And I'm like, wow. How could you not enjoy such a thing as a man? I don't understand it. Anyway, do you think the culture war will end? How does it end? Well, it ends when we realize, as a whole, right? There has to be an understanding that spread far and wide that it's not about left or right, black or white, or cultures. Cultures, there should be no culture war. What it's about is up versus down. The elites, yes. The elite class versus the proletariat class. When we understand that is the real war. They don't care about culture. See, the only culture they care about is the dominant culture, right? The dominant culture will always, if you allow that dominant culture to be in place and in position, well, we'll always have these problems, right? Yes, ain't nothing like a beautiful black goddess, boy. I love me some chocolate. And she just had the locks going all the way down to the small of her back, nice big old ooh-wee. But we have to understand, we live in a great big wide world with dozens of different cultures, hundreds. And one culture can be completely different from the next culture. One people's culture is different from the next person's. You might cross the ocean and come across a whole different group of people that has different customs and cultures that you don't understand. And there's nothing wrong with that. It should be appreciated. Like, look how these people live their life. Very, very interesting. See, the key is to understand that there are different cultures. And instead of hating on their culture or looking low on their culture because you feel like they're less civilized than you, the best thing to do is to appreciate that culture for its differences and let them rock. Let them do what they do. Right? The problem is we have to spread the gospel. We have to take Christianity across the world. We got to force our customs and cultures on everybody else because they're savages. Look how, oh my God, look at what they're doing. Yes, human decency. How would you know what we can and can't understand? What? Huh? What do you mean? Y'all just be saying stuff. So the key is to end the culture war. You have to start appreciating other people's cultures and not think that yours is superior because they don't do what you do. Right? Or think that, oh, well, I could dominate them. Look how silly they are. We have superior technology or superior firepower. So that means that we have to just take their shit. We gotta round them up and put them in reservations because it's so easy for us because we've been able to go around the world and do it to everybody else. We have to go, we got superior seaworthy boats. We got cannonballs. We got gunpowder. Our tools for slaughter are better than theirs. So that means that we need to take them over. We have to conquer them. It's the conqueror's mentality that put us in this position in the first place. And it still happens today. That's the problem. The only culture that we need to worry about is the dominant culture, because the dominant culture is just that. They're the dominant culture for a reason. And they're the dominant culture, and when you say dominant culture, it's not because simply they have a culture. No. The dominant culture is the group, the elite class of people that look like them or share their culture. Does that make sense? Because right now in the United States, the dominant culture is the European culture. It's the European culture. Right? Think about it. So, the dominant culture is European. So the elite class, the elites that control shit, they are of European, they come from the European culture. Right? So what that means is anybody in the proletariat class that is part of the European culture will get benefit naturally from that. They will get that white privilege. White privilege is natural. Do you guys understand that? Think about it. White privilege is natural. It's not their fault if you think about it. If you think about it, because the forced integration and the forced colonialization brought about that privilege to begin with. Think about that. Am I back, y'all? Sorry, I didn't know that they did that. There's no reason I should have been buffered. That's what happens when you say things in the wrong way. Bridget Quinn says, yes, one of my best friends who was black was in the car with me. The cop comes to the window and gives my friend seatbelt ticket. But I didn't have my seatbelt on either. So I stood up for my friend. Salute to you. Salute to you, Bridget. Salute to you. Thank you, Orange Lily, for you. Thank you for letting me know I'm back. So someone asked, how do we end the culture war? Well, we have to understand which culture we should be at war with. And then when you realize which culture you should be at war with, you can then go to war with that culture. And when you defeat that culture, there will be no more culture wars. But you have to come to an understanding after you do that. Instead of having a revolution like our forefathers did, like y'all forefathers, instead of having an revolution, you have an evolution. In order to achieve what you have never achieved, you have to do what you have never done. And the mistake our forefathers made, was when they defeated the crown and got all the colonies emancipated, they created another central government to rule over those colonies. Well, all you did was start the cycle back over again. No, the thing that they should have done was not say, let's federalize, let's centralize. And the idea behind that was to make sure that all these colonies militias, because that's what they were at the time. They were militias. They weren't standing armies like that. If we were ever threatened by the crown again, we could just automatically come together and defeat the crown, or defeat whoever might want to come and try to, rule over us again. Well, you didn't have to centralize the government for that. You could have just had a treaty. You know, you guys could have had a treaty, joint military exercises to make sure that when something like that happened, we could all come. There's nothing wrong with that. They have treaties all over the world. Think about it. The NATO nations. It's a treaty between different nations to combat any type of hostility from other nations that aren't part of NATO. But each of those countries are independent from each other. They don't rule. No one country in NATO rules over every other. No, they come together when necessary to have conversations, to do this, to do that, to talk, whatever they do. And then you got the United Nations that kind of helps with keeping everything copacetic. The same thing could have been done with the colonies. We didn't have to have a central government. No, each colony could have had their own system and their own culture and their own thing going on. And then if necessary, well, we bring our armies together and we defeat any invader. Common interest, right? What's the common interest of those colonies that the forefathers used to get them to form that central government in the first place? The common interest was trade, defense, and that's it. That's it. Protecting freedoms, right? That's what they wanted to do. Obviously, for the Europeans, not for the black folks, right? Because we wasn't even considered part of that. Yes, flying guillotine. The War of Independence was nothing more than a Jewish revolution. They no longer wanted to pay tax to the crown. There are a number of reasons, right? There are a number of reasons. Taxes, whatever. The bottom line is, when they defeated the crown in the 13 colonies, they had their own thing. They had their own governors. They had their own whatevers. They had their own constitutions. They had their own bills of rights. And they were operating like that. But when the Federalists were like, oh, we should do this and do that for the betterment of the whole nation or the whole land so that this doesn't happen again, the anti-Federalists is what they were called. They were like, no, fuck that. No, hell no. They didn't want to do it. One thing that convinced them, yes, you used to not have federal income tax. You had capital gains tax and corporate tax. One thing that convinced the anti-federalists to get on board, which were basically all the governors, right? All the colony leaders, was the Federalist. If you read the Federalist Papers, if you look at the process of what happened there and how that came about, the one sticking point that really got them like, nah, we don't want to do this was they didn't have a Bill of Rights in the Constitution. The Bill of Rights wasn't in the Constitution when the Federalists created it, right? Every other colony had a Bill of Rights. They said, hey, there's no Bill of Rights in this Constitution. What's up with that? Why? Because the leaders of those colonies did not want. They wanted to ensure that the rights of their people were enshrined in the Constitution. Certain specific rights that should not be infringed upon, right? That was the idea. They said, you don't even have a Bill of Rights in here. We all have Bill of Rights in our constitutions. So, guess what happened? You're right, Orange Living for you, it is illegal. But they finagled the bagel. And that was the banks. You guys have to understand, a lot of these amendments and changes to the Constitution over the years were initiated by banks. Yeah. Banks that were involved in lawsuits and different things. Banks that were trying to seize property. Banks that were trying to do this, trying to do that. Initiated by banks. And guess who runs this country right now? The bankers. Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. So the Federalists said, okay, We'll put a Bill of Rights in there, but you have to ask why you wouldn't put a Bill of Rights in there in the first place. The mistake was that those colonialists, the colony leaders, agreed to form that central government. So you really did have a revolution. The point is this. The point is this. The problem and the conflict between left and right, MAGA, liberal, all these different conflicts we have down here in the proletariat class, well, they're manufactured. They're manufactured by the dominant culture who will use the privilege of their proletariat counterparts to sow and perpetuate division amongst different cultures on the proletariat class level. And so this is what happens. This is why that's why we have these things going on that we have going on right now. No person in their right mind that looked at what happened to Alex Pretti, regardless of whether he kicked the car 11 days before or was fired from the VA or whatever the fuck they want to say. No person in their right mind should feel like a man who is trying to help a woman to her feet after being pushed and bear sprayed, after being bear sprayed himself, should not have been shot in the back 3 or 4 times and then shot 7 more times after he was laid up on the ground on his back, not moving. See, because they'll tell you, oh, he deserved it because he kicked the car 11 days ago. They'll tell you, oh, he brought a gun and a loaded magazine. Well, the gun was not in his possession when he was shot. See, what I think happened is, now this is just a hypothesis, right? It's not a theory. There's a difference between a hypothesis, a theory, and a goddamn, there's another one. There's a hypothesis, then there's a thesis. There's a difference between a hypothesis, a thesis, and a theory. The first stage is the hypothesis. I hypothesize that ICE knew that this dude had a gun 11 days, at least 11 days before. I think they knew he was carrying. Yeah, I think they dealt with Pretti previously. I think they set Pretti up. I think they lined him up to execute his ass. That's my hypothesis. See, hypothesis is something that you believe that you want to prove. A thesis is when you begin to work on gathering evidence towards your hypothesis. And then when you have a certain amount of evidence that you have researched and studied yourself, you come up with a theory. And once you have that theory that you already have facts and evidence to back up, you send that theory out to your counterparts out there in the same realm that you exist in. And they test your theory. They test it over and over again. And if they come up with the same results, it then becomes fact. So when they tell you that when people present a hypothesis that they're theorizing, they're not theorizing. It's a hypothesis. So right now, what I'm telling you is a conspiracy hypothesis. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just something that I hypothesized. I think they knew Alex was a carrier of a firearm. And I think they set them up, line them up to execute them. And that's my belief. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Much love, like, share, subscribe. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.